welcome back to another episode of The High Ground, powered by Premier Companies. And today it's myself and Ryan.
Hello.
And Jeff Jarrett's in the sound room with us. And this is just going to be a fun episode. We've had so many serious topics. You mean like
$5 gas and
or
those,
more?
That's not fun.
Yeah, we've gone through it. Tell her about what time frame we're on. It's March the 10th, 2022, and we've had a lot of serious topics we've been talking about. And we thought we'd just have a fun one. People listen for education and entertainment, they tell me. And so I thought we'd just have a fun one. And one of the things we threw out was talk about dinner last night, and I was going to share my story. And then Ryan volunteered to go next, and so he can tell his story too. But my story last night, last night was spaghetti night, by the way. And that's a big night at my house. Big meat sauce. I just love it.
Thank you for the invite. I would love to have been there.
I guess my text wasn't working, but it's fine. It's fine. I think my phone's back now.
Well, that's a big deal. That way I got my leftovers. I brown bag it for lunch, and I bring my leftovers in. So I was looking forward to spaghetti night, and got home, and we try to have my wife and little girl, we try to get together every night for dinner. And it's on the table. And
if you get together in the morning, it's breakfast.
That's true.
Just...
I knew we brought him in.
Yeah.
That's what we've been missing.
I'd have to wake people up if we did that, though. But so anyways, I sit down my spaghetti dinner, and I look down, and I take my fork, and I start flipping beans out of it.
Out of your spaghetti?
Out of my spaghetti. And in the sauce, and I'm kind of rolling the beans out. I go, are these chili beans? And my wife's like, oh, my gosh. She'd been making chili the week before, and so she just grabbed a can of chili beans to dump in there. And let me tell you all that chili is good, and good meat spaghetti sauce is good, but those two should not be commingled. It's off-label application. And so I've got chili bean spaghetti sauce last night, and then of course my wife, she's like, well, if nobody likes it, you don't have to eat it, and she goes, I'll just throw it out. And I'm like, no, it's good. So I finished it up, and she goes, well, you don't want this for lunch tomorrow, I guess. And no, that's okay. I'll take it. And so I got my thermos of chili bean spaghetti sauce up there. So that was my lunch today, was leftover chili bean spaghetti. How was your dinner last night, Ryan?
Well, mine was perfect. Actually, I know Carla listens to every one of these.
Jerk.
So no, mine was good. You asked if I wanted to go second, and I did, and that's why, because we had sausage souffle, and it was wonderful. So Jeff, how was yours?
I was working last night. I didn't get supper.
Oh,
where?
I can't believe you guys are wasting my time. I should be working right now.
You think Harold listens to these?
I'm hoping.
You shouldn't lie to him.
Well, you guys do all the time.
I told you this morning, I heard a guy say he used to work with you, and I said I've worked around him and in spite of him, but never with him.
All this audio equipment's going to be gone next week.
Yeah, it's over.
I've been married for almost 35 years. How long have you been married, Sal?
Oh, that's about 20-something, I think.
See, you've learned. That was a great answer, honey. I love this stuff.
And I did. If she makes it, I'll eat it. But that was a tough one. I think I'd rather have squirrel spaghetti than chili spaghetti.
Yeah, none of us look anorexic, so I think we're all
we could
getting
miss
along
it,
in that
Bill.
department.
I'm 100% certain that whatever he has tonight, he'll like, because he'll be making it.
It'll be salmon patty night then.
Hey, let's get serious for a minute. Talk about our PARP training. Sal, you've had some guys that have been putting on PARP training at a lot of different locations. How's that turnout been? And
really good. And we found out a couple things. And one is that we need to have an evening option. And there's we have some growers that for some, they got cattle, they have livestock. We have lots of different reasons that maybe a morning or a daytime option doesn't work for them. So we had an evening option at Greensburg and had 75 growers at that event, and we're always going to have an evening option for that. But they've been very well attended. We got one just finished up in Corden, and then we got another one at Mitchell this evening. And I think by the time we get done with 6 sessions, we'll have probably 250, 300 growers come through.
What does PARP stand for?
The Private Applicator License. So that's their if you're a farmer and you want to...
Would that be a PAL meeting?
A PAL?
You haven't told me what R&P stand for yet.
No, private applicator restricted use pesticide recertification performance for their performance.
He doesn't know, does he?
I think that was CRAP is what he just gave you.
PARP.
Restricted use would be RU.
I'm against initialism. I don't like initialism. I don't use it.
Oh my! Well,
but we've had a lot of topics.
We're not cutting that either.
No, I'm going to keep it in
the fact
there.
that you're having PARP meetings and you don't know what that means, we're not cutting that.
I got the first part right. Private applicator performance restricted. PARP.
I don't think it is. I don't think that's it.
What is it, Jeff?
That's why I was asking, Sal. I don't know.
You don't have to have one to spread fertilizer.
No, that's
right.
If you don't study in school, you become a fertilizer buyer.
I was talking to one of our employees last night. He's 26 years old, and he does with sustainability here at Premier Ag, which tells everybody at Premier Ag who he is. But I was like, you never had to grow up at a time frame when no one knew anything. There wasn't a Google and there wasn't an internet to lean back on. And I said, growers today and everyone has so much access to knowledge all the time. So I was about ready to say, just Google it. But if you put that in, you may get 1.7 million results for PARP that we don't even know what they are.
Yeah, you got to be pretty careful when you type some of that stuff in.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Moving on.
There are certain searches that you don't want. So let's do something a little different.
Ask my wife about Googling things that you don't know sometimes. It's a great story.
Yeah, no,
Not appropriate.
Not appropriate for
Not
that.
here.
All right, let's do something a little different. I can't imagine with the number of viewers that we've had, number of downloads starting to get out there and be viewed by several people. I think we'll take a few minutes. Jeff, you've hosted one. Sal, you and I have hosted several. Why don't we just tell a little bit about ourselves and a little something that we're interested in? So, Jeff, why don't you start?
Okay. I'm at a loss for words here. Now, just on the spot.
In fairness, we gave him 4 minutes of lead time.
Did you want somebody else to start,
I
Jeff?
thought this was going to be fun.
Well, I would have thought that a question like this that is pretty much should be based on facts.
Wonder if Cooper's still listening.
Right? Is this
what do you do, Jeff?
All right, Jeff. Can you tell us what you do? I mean, the National Spelling Bee champion and all of those things that you weren't that you're going to tell us. That.
Yeah, I've already said I didn't study. That's why I buy fertilizer for a living. But
so kids, grandkids, cows.
I've got all three.
Does that help?
I've got all three of those. I have 7 children. I have 2 granddaughters. And grandkids are a lot more fun than kids, and should have started with them first. Definition of grandkids: God's reward for not killing your own kids. So that's. No, I have a lovely family, and
so you just really want to just go out and adopt some 20, 25, 26-year-olds and just go right to their grandkids.
If I'd have known what I know now, you're right. But no, they. I grew up with small farm and retail fertilizer background, and so I've been in agriculture all my life. Absolutely love this industry. It's been good to my family. I would like to, I've not been real successful at getting my children to follow in my footsteps. I've only got one really working in the ag industry, but it's been a great industry.
But she is a standout of the group, right?
In her mind, yes, and.
This industry doesn't pay very much, but the work's real hard.
Right, exactly.
So that's it's been good. I've been able to experience a lot of different jobs from chemical rep to wholesale fertilizer. Had my own fertilizer company for a while, and now I'm at Premier Ag and started with White River. Went through the merger, and just happy to be here. Happy to be in the industry and be with a solid company.
Sal?
Well, I got here, joined the Marines when I was pretty young, and when I got out, I showed up at a fertilizer branch, and they needed some part-time help, and at that time, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, and so through a series of that was a company called Terra.
Technically, we were colleagues because I worked for Terra as
That's
well.
That's right. A lot of good things coming out of that acquisition.
I think so, too.
And so through that acquisition of Land Lakes bought Terra in 1999, and then I've been in the business ever since. And through wholesale distribution territories with Terra, and then also with
Land Lakes wanted you so bad they bought the company.
That's what I like to say. Yep.
It's amazing.
That's a big deal.
It's called goodwill. We'll take the other stuff as long as we get Sal.
Right. Yep. That's probably how it's on the statement.
And talking about families, 10 years ago, my wife and I had a miracle baby, and the timing was right. Premier Ag and Jackson Jennings were merging back at that time in that transition, and also there were some customers merging in Ohio, and had a chance to come back and work with Premier Ag as sales management, and then also through this transition. So you ever hear, sometimes it's just neat to be at the right place at the right time in the right position for you. And everything came together with the family and the timing, and no overnight travel. Anywhere I'm at, I'm about 2 hours from home. So it's not too bad in our trade territory. Never knew Washington County would be the center of the trade territory.
Yeah, that may shift again one of these days. You never
That's
can
right.
tell. That could shift again.
Ryan?
So I have an unorthodox path to here. Jeff likes to hear it because he thinks it's fascinating that I ever made it this far, I guess. So,
And my mic's not muted, so I get to make comments as you tell your story.
Exactly. And I'll tell a funny story about that when I get done with this. But so I started out first person in my family to ever go to college. And up until that point, through high school and then into college, I was a hod carrier for a masonry company. So I packed blocks, bricks, and mixed mortar. When I got through college, I went to work for a feed mill. Worked at a feed mill for about 6 years. Decided I was pretty tired.
Is that an accredited university? Is that an accredited university?
The one I went to?
Mm-hmm.
Did they
You mean where it's warm and the weather's decent and it's not than the Arctic Circle where you went? Yeah, it was fine.
Okay, just
It
checking.
was fine. I'm a WKU Hilltopper and I'm proud of it.
That's an awesome little school.
Well, thank you.
At the feed mill, they show you how to tie those feed bags with that special knot.
No, we sent them out in bulk trucks. So
I can't do the feed bag tie.
No. But so I got out of there and I actually went and became a welder as a civil servant. For a year and a half, and in 2005, I had the opportunity to go to work for White River Co-op, and as a seller through White River Co-op, and was blessed with the opportunity in 2016 to become the CEO of White River Co-op, and then through the merger 6 years later, now Chief Operating Officer at Premier. And that's all secondary to the fact that I host this podcast with the likes of you gentlemen.
This is a real gig.
Yeah, this is what I do. But I will tell you, I was standing in line at a funeral, at a visitation, and
This is a positive one. This is a positive.
this is a good story.
Okay.
I guarantee you'll laugh. So I'm standing at a visitation line. Yeah, it has nothing to rest his soul. I mean, that part wasn't funny. The conversation within the line was funny. So I'm not taking it down. We're not eulogizing the guy. I'm telling you a story about what happened in line.
It's all about you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is. So it's my turn. Can you mute them? So anyway, my high school Algebra 2 teacher was in front of us in line. And I'd recently received my position at White River as manager. And she turned around and she said, "Hey, I just read about your promotion at White River Co-op. I can't lie to you, that surprises me a little." So, I don't know. I thought that was funny.
What is the
I don't know why we're sending questions back to me. I just did my part.
what is the second greatest thing you did as CEO at White River Co-op?
Oh, gosh.
Was
It's a simple question.
I don't know. Why don't you cue me up with what the first one was?
Hiring me, but go ahead. What's the second thing?
Nothing's. It's all overshadowed. They all fell on the same level. What were you hunting for?
I understand that.
Yeah, I've been thrilled about it every day myself.
It was either that or I was going to ask what the third longest river in Africa is.
That's the one I wanted too. And I'm telling you, I think it's probably beneficial for this group to have some of those trivia questions. So at the end of them, somebody's learned something. That's my opinion.
You didn't answer that question, so I guess I need to Google it.
The third, exactly, because because that 26-year-old, he and I are about the same age, and so I know how to Google. So, Sal, do you have anything else for this menagerie of mess?
No, I'd say that's probably enough. That's all this would have been appropriate in our next jobs.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we're not releasing this one today, so we're safe at least through this week.
There's probably podcast companies out there just dying to hire us right now.
Oh, you would think. I mean,
That's all I've got, right?
Yeah, I don't have anything else. I just I thought we'd get together and have a little fun. Sal's idea to bring this together. We brought Jeff in for no apparent reason. No apparent reason for that. I got that worked in there,
I was
Jeff.
getting ready to make the best buy in fertilizer history, but you guys pulled me out of that meeting.
That's what happened. Yep.
I'll tell the customers. I'll pass it along.
They'll be pulling down that statue that they were getting ready to put up. They'll be pulling it back down.
Well, anyway, it was fun. It is good. We hope that the podcast continues to be a success and that we continue to enlighten and educate our listeners, as well as have great guests on that we've partnered with through this industry. And I think Jeff did say it. Both of you said it as well, that we are blessed to be in this industry and thankful to be a part of it every day. So,
absolutely.
That's all I got. The high ground. This is another episode of the. If you were on YouTube, you could see the pitcher missed the signal at the catcher was sending the signal. He got shook off. Coming across.
Don't send it back. We're done.
So this is another episode of the High Ground, powered by Premier Companies, and thanks for listening.